Good evening, Chemo, subbies. Okay, that was corny, but I just had it in my brain today. Welcome. Day 12 after chemo treatment number 2. So chemo round 2, day 12. And I'm just going to talk to you about effects, some things. So yesterday was a little rough because, I'm going to talk to you about urination. It's a thing, okay? We all do it. And I don't want to offend anyone by that, but you have to talk about these bodily functions because they are affected by chemo treatment. And one of the things I really experienced yesterday in a harsh way was the urethra being irritated and just burning like it's on fire. And any ladies out there that have had UTIs or urinary tract infections, you know that burning sensation. However, this is something that is not, I don't have a urinary tract infection, but I will also double check and make sure with my care providers to ensure that I don't have that problem, because I've had a problem with that all my life. I had kidney surgeries and things throughout my youth. And those are things that I actually have to really pay attention to for myself to ensure that the kidneys and the bladder are still functioning properly. But anyway, this is something that is an effect because the chemo does cause irritation to those tissues in your bladder. It'll irritate your bladder and it irritates the urethra. And I'm not sure how that goes for men. You have the same components as far as urethra. And I don't know if you experience that or not, because I'm not a man. I'd leave that up to you to maybe share if you're a guy and you're watching this or something and you have gone through some of these treatments. It's probably something that could help other people, other men. And so the frequent burnings, what they talk about with that is you continue flushing, because what you're doing is you're trying to stay as hydrated as possible so that all of this chemo flushes through your system. And as that's flushing, that's where it leaves the body, through one of two areas. You know what I'm saying? And I did experience that. Have had some wild tingling in my heels. It's a little bit irritating. It almost feels like you would be walking on acupuncture needles. It just gives you that little zingy in the heels, and it kind of comes and goes. Uncontrolled eye twitching. So I'm sure everybody has at least probably had this, where your eyes, like the muscle or whatever, the nerves are just twitching around your eye and it's irritating and doesn't stop. So I've had that going on with both eyes. And so sometimes if it looks like I'm squinting, it's because probably I'm going through a twitch fest and not the sight twitch. Okay. Actual twitching. And I did pick up some magnesium because that might help. So I started taking magnesium the other day for that, just to see if it'll calm it down a little bit. The only other things that I go through this is kind of the standard, is definitely the cold symptoms. You get a sore throat, runny nose, kind of a cough. It feels like you have a cold, but I don't have a cold. I have the symptoms. Kind of wild. And you get the blood just kind of coagulates up, and I blow my nose and it just looks like blood stains on my tissues. At least it's not leaking like a sieve, and it's not a problem where I might maybe want to go to an emergency room and just make sure that everything's intact and okay. But those are the things that I've been experiencing. And then I have definitely now experienced cold. And by cold, I mean like my body's warm, but my bones are like, I'm cold. And just the other night, I had to put a beanie on to go to bed because I was just freezing. I couldn't get warm, and I was under 3 blankets. So I might have to see about getting an electric blanket. I'll probably be that one weirdo down here in the South in the summer where it's 95 degrees out and I'm under a heating blanket because I got May should be my 6th round of treatment. And then after that, I have to go through whatever else, which brings me to the next topic of conversation real quick is I might not have been clear about how this process goes. So I treat it like a mission in the matter of sometimes when you're running operations and things like that, and you have certain missions to accomplish. Sometimes you can't go to the next mission or even start your next mission until you know where you're at with your first mission. If it's been a success, have you completed it, and then stage 2 starts. So I'm in mission 1, and that's just chemo. And we're doing the chemo because I have already had the cancer spreading all through here, and they have to get that under control. And chemotherapy targets those cancer cells and kills them. And I have to do that first because they want to see what they can stop. Hopefully, all of it stop from spreading and what gets killed off. And then we go from there to deal with the tumors in the breast. We'll see if that, if maybe they get smaller. I don't really know what to expect from that. But once that is complete, then it will be an MRI, a CT, a PET scan, and a visit with my breast doctor, my other oncologist at the other facility. And we will figure out what needs to happen for mission 2. That could consist of radiation. They have to figure out what's going on with the lymphs because the lymph nodes. And then obviously to also see what the tumors have done or not done. And it will be kind of a touch and go situation. So I don't really know. And that's why I don't have an answer for that. And again, everybody is different. So there are some folks who are going through, they get the chemo and then like at the end of the week, they have to get a radiation treatment and what have you. And I know nothing about that because I'm not doing that process. And we will see how my process goes. And then we go to mission 2. So this is going to be a long road for myself and my husband, Eric. And I'm just ready to ride that roller coaster. I'm already on it. So, hey, I'm strapped in, brother. I'm strapped in and I'm ready to rock. And I'm just hoping, but the potential of mastectomy talks probably going to happen. Not really sure. We'll see what happens after the treatment. And I mean, would I need more chemo? Potentially. We just don't know. That's the unknown about the disease. And the other thing that they don't really talk about, and I understand why they don't talk about this, is that people who have gone through these treatments and everything, so that you have just basically killed and annihilated everything inside of your body, pretty much. And then it's a matter of monitoring, and they'll probably give you an oral medication after that, and you might have to be on that medication for a couple years. And that is something to hopefully prevent a comeback, a resurgence of cancer. But it's not perfect. It's not perfect science. And people do get cancer again. You may or you may not. But that's just something to be really straightforward about because, yes, you can go into remission and that's a wonderful thing. And then you go through your monitoring and you do all your things. But there is always the potential that you could get it back somewhere else in your body. That's it. So I won't be surprised if something like that happens to me. I've just heard that it's happened to some people and it can be a rougher ride. And I pray for people going through that, having to go through yet another battle So with that, I'm going to move on to some thank yous. I'm doing good. I'm still in this is like my normal happy self. Like I said, I'm not sad about this. I'm just seeing the process, experiencing the process, and trying to give little bits of information about the process. Excuse me. And hope that they help or maybe enlighten somebody. I mean, geez, man, feel free to laugh, comment, make fun of me. I don't care. That actually kind of makes my day because I think I'm a total dork, and this is not easy for me to do at all. It might seem like it is, but it really isn't. I hate being on camera. I'm not a camera person. I don't like having my picture taken. I've never wanted to be on film, and here I am in a whole new world of not me. Uh, so just know that, and I appreciate anybody who's watching, and I hope that some of these little things will help. I have props to give to Tina. You know who you are. So she took this, and this was made by an embroidery shop here in Aiken Embroidery. And Tina had been paying attention to the videos, and those of you, all my old buddies, know who Red Panda is. That is me. And she had this made, so I want to thank her for that, and I want to thank the lady who actually did the work of the bag, because this helps me carry around my tissues, my mouth moisturizing spray, water, books, Tylenol, everything that I really need to carry around with me because I never know when something's going to strike me. And then I also stand by one. And then I don't know her name. I'm sorry, but she also then made this hat. She wanted to make a hat, and so she provided this, and I thought that was really nice because I've never been in this shop and I don't know this person. So when I tell you that amazing things do happen and people do care, it's totally true. And not everybody is as open or wants to be as open about what's going on with them. And I completely understand that. And that is fair. It is fair for your privacy and those kinds of things. That was the person I was. I was like, my personal business ain't none of your business unless I want to make it your business. So there you have it. But for those of you who do, you have your close ones and your loved ones that are going through this process with you and watching you go through it. It's amazing, like your friends and the support that is out there. It's truly a beautiful, loving thing. And then a quick thing about something with that. If you feel like you're insignificant because you don't have a serious illness, please don't. Your life is still significant to, let's say it's me. It's significant to me. Whether you had a nasty day because you sat in traffic for 3 hours and you're just depressed that day, or you're bummed out and you've got all these other things going on and you're trying to support your family and you're trying to do the things, your mission in life, whatever that is, walking your path, trying to get there, going through the struggles. You don't have to hold back. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but the last thing I really want to talk about is me. I want to hear about you. I want to hear about my friends. You know, how was their day? How are you doing? Are you okay? If you're going through something medical wise, maybe it's not a serious illness, but you know, maybe you just had surgery. Maybe you're recouping. Maybe you've got, you know, things that need to be done, or you need help. Don't stop leaning on those around you and sharing what you have going on, because that to me expresses that you're not looking at me. You don't look at me any differently. And I know you want to be strong for the people around you, but it's okay to have that weakness. And that's where I say, for your partners, your friends, your family, your moms, your dads, whoever like is going through it with you, they also need that support too. They need somebody that they can talk to. And sometimes it won't be you because they don't want you to see that they're going to have a breakdown. And that's okay. Have it, use the tissues. I'm probably going to just have to buy stock in Kleenex because I go through so many tissues right now. It's insane. And I just thought about that, and it was just something that I wanted to say sorry, not the tissues, but along the lines of comparing yourself to somebody who might be going through something a little more detrimental than you. You don't have to do that. And you don't have to feel like you're less important or significant to that person, or your problems are not as important as anything in life, because it's life. And we all go through some of these things, and y'all have a hard day. And don't be ashamed of that. You just work through it. Don't be ashamed. It happens to all of us, and that's the way it goes. So I do hope that this was a little more informational. Like I said, some of the same symptoms, a couple different things coming on. And your breathing too, it gets a little funky because it does affect that. And then, excuse me, my round three fight will be March 11th. And we'll be going through the third treatment, and we'll see what happens from there. That one I could probably maybe have a serious crash and burn, but I'm still trying to do the aftercare after treatment. And aftercare after treatment is important too. So I still take like my multivitamin. I still really try to hydrate. When you are hydrating, make sure you are balancing with electrolytes, because you're flushing your system, and you could flush. Obviously, when you drink a ton of water, you can flush out those important electrolytes that you need in your body. So, Gatorade. If you find a good liquid IV here, my sister got me this to mix into. This has electrolytes, and it has stevia as a sweetener, so it's not it's not a processed refined sugar. Those are really good too. You also experience, or I experience, really dry, like my throat and mouth get really dry from this. So thank you to Charlie and Sherry. You know who you are. Biotine, this is the little mouth spray, but they also have a mouthwash, and it just moisturizes the inside of your mouth, and it really actually does work. So if you have that, because I wake up every couple hours at night when I'm sleeping, and my throat's dry, it's sore, my mouth is dry, and so I might spritz some of that in there. Or now I can actually have a lozenge, and it doesn't give me super bad heartburn. That's another thing. Heartburn, acid reflux, like these things happen. I don't know if they happen to everybody, but they have happened to me, and I have some things for that. So if you're looking for things to, like, you want to do a care package for your loved one, or people that friends that are going through it, I will tell you what, these things, because they're expensive. So you might say you have really good insurance, and that's all, and that's good. Like, I'm very thankful we have some really excellent insurance. I'm very grateful for our insurance company. They're awesome. But your aftercare, that's on you. And things like Imodium, Metamucil, vitamins. I got some magnesium because I just want to see if that kind of helps with this twitchy stuff. Gatorade, hydration drinks, electrolytes, biotine, these little things that just help you feel better after the process. They are expensive. And, I don't know how many people actually use these things, because again, everybody's body is different and it reacts differently through treatment. However, some things are pretty similar. And you can always ask, hey, do you take this or something like that? So if you're putting together a swag bag, because that's my goal, is to start putting together swag bags for people who may not have that kind of money or support. And it's not just about like being warm. it's about, hey man, that Gatorade really like quenched my thirst today, or what have you. These little Gatorade bottles, or the little hydration packets, snacks, obviously, but sometimes certain snacks just won't taste good to people because your tastes change through this whole process. Spicy foods are definitely out for me right now, so I'm really missing my Mexican food, but that's okay. I can still have a taco salad with just no salsas or any spicy stuff in it, and that hits the spot. And I'm trying to think. I think that's really all I thought of as far as care package items or stuff like that. Oh, fuzzy things. Because, yeah, I noticed with my fuzzy blankets and things, man, they just feel so good on the skin. And they really just wrap you up, and they just feel good. They feel more so than they did before. It's like I like fuzzy, soft things on my body, but this is a whole other level, man. I lay down and I'm just wrapped up in there, and it feels so good because it's so soft, and I can just hang on to it and try and get warm. So the biotin, this is liquid IV, Gatorade, and we talked about like the Imodium, because that helps, because you do not want to be having or suffering from painful gas, torturous diarrhea. I'm just going to say it. You don't want to be suffering from those things. And so Imodium is something that they recommended to me. It's in my health plan, what have you, the breakdown of all these effects that you could have and the things that would be good to take. And then Metamucil is another good one. I take that in the morning. You can take it twice a day. And that also helps with the processing and digestive system. And I think that's it, folks. That's all, folks. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. I'm not going to get offended by any questions you have, anything you have to say. I'm a really chill person, and I have a pretty sarcastic personality. So those who know me, you know how I roll. My sensitivity level is like, I can't say zero because I'm not sensitive to those things. My sensitivity is like off the charts. No, it's not. It doesn't bother me. It just doesn't bother me at all. And I like a good joke, that's for sure. Because keeping people happy and, keeping things light does help with people going through therapy. I think it does. A good sense of humor and a good book. Maybe something to color. Who knows? Thank you for your time. I do hope you all have a great weekend. Excuse me again. I hope you all have a great weekend. And again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. Put it in comments below, because I do have this on my YouTube page as well. And we'll talk soon. And as always, Red Panda out.